Oriel's bow. Yeah, Darful Cave, I'm going for you. So, where are we going? Uh-huh. Ooh, shoot. Yeah, that was scripted. I can tell you that much. Yeah, spectrum set of colors is not universal, but at least it's like more bright, so yeah, I don't think the spiders will be a problem. Is it all? Yeah, that's all. So that spectrum set of colors is not universal, but at least it's bright, so it looks exciting enough, even though you just have like 8 of them with 2 variations of sets. Because you only can have 2 colors in a 8x8 pixel box to save memory and all that stuff, which is, yeah, no, not amazing, but then again, sometimes you're looking through pictures people made for various competitions, for demo parties, and even without multicolor modes, it still looks amazing. Oh yeah, if you're going to try to stop me with spiders, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm like level 40 something. Yeah, thanks Serana, she's helping too. So, just passing by, killing spiders. Probably will find someone more dangerous a little bit later. Yeah, now we're on the correct level. That was just a scripted sequence to drop down. I wasn't quite sure at first, but now I am. Yeah, okay. That's a little bit of light. Around here, and it's pretty dark, like pretty much one of the darkest caves in the whole of Skyrim, because generally they are not as dark. But this time it's different. What do you think? Should I adjust brightness level in game for you?
These people were... Why would anyone want to set up camp here?
Yeah, with all these poisonous spiders and probably worse stuff. So, cure poison. Yeah, sure, why not? Mushrooms, not really. Cure disease. Ultimate Magicka, sure. Troll fight, steel bolts, no. I'm not interested in crossbows, because you can't interrupt their reloading animation, they're quite slow, so I'm much better with my bow. Another cure poison. I will carry it for now, but I'm not sure if I will do it for much longer. Is it... I mean, it's not explored, so I may as well ensure we're not missing anything, at least. Yeah, that's like a different part of it. But that's a dead end, right? Yeah, that's just a dead end. And here it interconnects with other part of the cave. I can't see anything particularly hidden, or at least maybe it's hidden too well. Who knows? Maybe it is. But let's get back on track, and there are 2 options actually. I can't even see the road half of the time. If it's a passage... Oh, sorta. I'm not sure if I can actually go through there. No, it's probably a shortcut, right? Because I don't see anything, really. I think I've seen... oh, yes, that's a trap. Of course I can jump over it. Guess who's not going to jump over it? Yeah, my bloodthirsty friend, Serona. And hello, Specky. It looks like we have a good company this time. That's my first live stream on a new system. Ah yeah, get ready to regen health. A little bit. Oh, you don't even hurt so much. Oh, that's a plus. And yeah, maybe I will actually slightly increase brightness, because that's kinda ridiculous even for me. Like for a couple notches. I don't want to make it too bright. Oh yeah, sure, we have trolls. Not internet trolls. A different kind of it. And I'm not sure which is worse. I mean, deadly carols for a troll. Yes, it's probably ridiculous. So maybe switch to glass for now. It's not a big deal if I will waste a couple of them. Oh, that's a fatality. And of course we have more trolls. Let me take different perspective. The reason I upgraded stuff is because I don't have any capture cards, like proper cards. We're not considering that cheap $5 device for capturing composite video a capture device, really, right? I don't have your Elgato HD 60 Pro or anything like that, so I needed more cores so I could play games and stream them and record them at the same time without games being lagging out, because I had that problem with Overwatch on some settings and I didn't expect it to become any better, so I decided that moving to 6 cores, which are kinda affordable. I was initially going for 8400 or 8500 CPU, which is like 3 GHz, 2.8 and 3 GHz respectively, but then I got this deal, so much better. And 6 cores will obviously help, because before I had 4 cores from 3470 CPU, but now I have half as much, so it helps. And a proper capture device which has hardware encoder, and the only capture device I want is the one that can actually encode video with its own power, and not every device, even an expensive one, can do that. So yeah, I'm not keen on wasting $200 for a capture specific device, because with 6 core CPU I can do a lot of different things. With $200 capture device you can just capture. So I went with that. I mean, what kind of video do you want? Me talking about the hardware I kinda already did. If you want me to take a couple of photos, I can do that, I guess. But yeah, my camera wasn't working particularly well, my camcorder, and at some point it started to show vertical stripes over footage. And I thought that, oh, that thing died, now I have to...
You have nothing to fear here.
What's that? I can feel some kind of...
Yeah, hello. So I thought it's dead, I need $250 for another one, and with my kind of Eastern European profits, that's not happening for another half of the year. But now that it appears to be working again, maybe not for long, I'm not sure, at least I can make supposedly short videos. At least it's not that tragic anymore, so maybe I'll just concentrate on getting like $100 for a 250GB SSD, like Samsung 960 or 970 NVMe option, because I have M.2 PCI Express powered slots for SSDs, which is supposed to work pretty fast for system drive, you know, with Windows and stuff.
I am Knight Paladin Gelebor. Welcome to the great chantry of Auriel.
Yeah, hello. And this cave is a temple of Auriel?
Auriel, Alkosh, Akatosh, so many different names for the sovereign of the Snow Elves.
Snow Elves? You mean
I
farmer?
prefer Snow Elf. The name Falmer usually holds a negative meaning to most travelers. Those twisted creatures you call Falmer, I call the Betrayed.
I imagine you know why we're here.
Of course, you're here for Auriel's bow. Why else would you be here? I can help you get it, but first, I must have your assistance.
Sure, I guess I don't have any choice. I don't think there are that many of your kind left around anymore, considering that some, you know, dwarven race did horrible things to your kind many years ago. So what
I need you to
sort of...
kill Archcurate Vertha, my brother.
Oh, yeah, so there's other Snow Elf left and you want to kill him. Why?
The kinship between us is gone. I don't understand what he's become, but he's no longer the brother I once knew. It was the Betrayed. They did something to him. I just don't know why Auriel would allow this to happen.
Well, maybe sometimes gods don't care about us and we have to fix our lives ourselves, right?
They swept into the chantry without warning and began killing everyone without pause.
Didn't you fight back?
The chantry was a place of peaceful worship. I led a small group of paladins, but we were no match for the Betrayed's sheer numbers.
Maybe.
They slaughtered everyone and stormed the inner sanctum where I believe they corrupted Vertha.
Maybe there was a rat inside, considering how quickly they got inside.
He's alive. I've seen him, but something's wrong. He never looks as though he's in pain or under duress. He just stands there and watches, as though waiting.
Yeah, that isn't normal.
Leaving the way shrines unguarded would be violating my sacred duty as a Knight Paladin of Auriel. And an assault on the Betrayed guarding the inner sanctum would only end with my death.
So, way shrine.
Yes, let me show you.
Yeah, I'm ready. An epic transformation of some kind. Stuff is pulsating and moving around. Nice.
This structure is known as a way shrine. They were used for meditation and for transport when the chantry was a place of enlightenment. Prelates of these shrines were charged with teaching the mantras of Auriel to our initiates.
What's that basin in the center signify?
Once the initiate completed his mantras, he'd dip a ceremonial ewer in the basin at the way shrine's center and proceed to the next way shrine.
So these initiates had to lug around a heavy pitcher of water. Marvelous. How long would they have to do that?
Well, once the initiate's enlightenment was complete, he'd bring the ewer to the chantry's inner sanctum. Pouring the contents of the ewer into the sacred basin of the sanctum would allow him to enter for an audience with the Archcurate himself.
All that just to end up dumping it out? Makes no sense to me.
It's symbolic. I don't expect you to understand.
So, let's get this straight. We need to do all that nonsense to get into the temples so we can kill your brother and claim Ariel's bow.
I know how it all sounds. But if there was another way, I'd have done it long ago. The only way to get to my brother is by following in the Initiate's footsteps and traveling from way shrine to way shrine, just as they did. The first lay at the end of Darkfall Passage, a cavern that represents the absence of enlightenment.
Yeah, and how many more way shrines are there?
5 in total, spread far apart across the Chantry.
This case might be massive.
Oh no, the Chantry encompasses far more than a few caves, as you'll soon discover. But before I send you on your way, you'll need the Initiate's Ewer.
Okay, so I need to fill this at each
Once you've located
way
the
shrine.
there'll be a spectral prelate tending to it. They will allow you to draw the waters from the shrine's basin, as if you've been enlightened.
Well, I'll be off then.
This may be the last time we're able to converse. If you have any questions before you leave, I suggest you ask them. Otherwise, all I can do now is grant you my hopes for a safe journey.
Yeah, I need a little bit more than hopes, but yeah, thank you anyway. And yes, my motherboard,
Questions?
which is
I expected as much.
actually the box is right here.
Questions? I expected as much.
That's ROG Strix B360G Gaming from Asus.
Questions?
I haven't bought it because it has fancy name, I bought it because it has plenty of different ports, slots and expansion capabilities, so yeah, that was the idea. And it actually doesn't look terrible. It's mostly black, and yeah, it's nice. The sound is better than you usually have it, but I'm using sound through HDMI, so it's not real deal for me, but yeah. Anyway, plenty of USB 3.0, 3.1 even, and stuff like that. 2 M.2 slots on my motherboard, so yes, one of them is full speed, and the other one is just 2 lanes of PCI Express. So
Questions? I expected
yeah,
as
sure.
much.
Questions. So who are you people? Yeah, that's the most interesting one.
We were once a wealthy and prosperous society that occupied a portion of Skyrim. Unfortunately, we were constantly at war with the Nords, who claimed the land as their ancestral home.
It appears that the Nords
In
won.
a manner of speaking. We had always maintained an uneasy alliance with the underground-dwelling dwarves, and when faced with extinction, we turned to them for help.
And they turned you.
Surprisingly, they agreed to protect us, but demanded a terrible price.
Yeah,
The blinding of our race.
they turned you into slaves. How amazing. Isn't better than death? I'm not that sure.
There were splinter groups that resisted the agreement, and even some that sought alternate alliances. But when it was all said and done, those elves were either slaughtered, vanished, or gave up and took the dwarves' bargain.
You can't really call that a bargain, in my opinion.
I've often asked myself that very same question. The blinding of my race was supposedly accomplished with a toxin, certainly not enough to devolve them into the sad and twisted beings they've become.
Yeah. So why weren't the snow elves here affected?
The Chantry is quite isolated, so it took some time for word of the dwarves' offer to reach us here. By the time the compact had been completed, it was too late for us to even attempt to intervene.
Is that why you had retained your site?
Correct. We only numbered perhaps 100 at the time, so our presence remained a secret to the dwarves and the Nords. Ironically, our undoing came at the hands of our own people.
You mean the betrayed?
Yes, they swarmed the Chantry in vast numbers until we were completely overrun. We never really stood a chance. I assumed that the Archcurate was corrupted by them when they found a way to breach the inner sanctum.
There are others here like you.
Bertha and myself are the only 2 snow elves that remain.
So the others are ghosts.
They're ghosts of the snow elf priests that tended the way shrines before being slaughtered by the betrayed. Through the grace of Auriel, they were restored to their spectral form to enable them to continue their duties.
Good. They should be able to
I'm
help
afraid
us.
in their current form, they still believe the Chantry to be an active center of worship. They won't respond to you in any way other than believing that you're an initiate, and you're undertaking the journey to the inner sanctum.
Even though I'm not a snow elf, but yeah, I guess we can ask this as well, because we may not have a chance to speak with him later.
This is, or was, the epicenter of our religion. Most of the Snow Elf people worshipped Auriel. The chantry was constructed near the beginning of the First Era to provide a retreat for those that wish to become enlightened.
Most snow
Our
elves?
empire had temples to some of the other deities. Trinimac, Sirabane, Yffrey, and Finister rounded out the rest. But those temples paled in comparison to the glory of the chantry and its way shrines.
The way shrines are part of the chantry then.
Oh yes, they were an important part of the process here. They represented the steps the initiates took on the path to total enlightenment. Sadly, the magic used to construct these wonders were lost long before I arrived here.
So you can't rebuild it. Yeah,
Auriel watch over you.
that's not amazing, but off we go. Right? Perhaps. Are we going there?
Questions?
Let me see, just to be sure. Completely sure. Auriel. That's his little setup. Not super amazing, and yeah, I guess
Wasn't as unpleasant as I thought it would be.
NVMe
Kind of soothing,
rules.
actually. I feel a little warmer now.
And I always wanted to try out SSDs. Because at this point I have 3 hard drives in my system. Like 6 terabytes total, that's 1, 2 and 3 terabytes respectively. And like system drive would help quite a bit. Oh. How?
Where'd you come from?
Oh, a quite strong one. How about my double daggers?
That'll teach
Yeah.
you.
Hidden strike is doing alright. I'm not sure if I would be able to afford 500 gigabyte SSD, but at least 250 is plenty for Windows setup and maybe 1 or 2 games like World of Warcraft and Overwatch. Or at least some system software. Can I? Yeah, I totally can. I like sneak attacks with 15 times damage. I really freaking like them. And that's a poison component. Farmer ears, double damage health is nice. Void salts. Yeah, that's not terrible. Do we have anything alive and hostile or dead in? Yeah.
Where'd you
Okay,
come from?
whatevs. My dear guy, I can kill you just like this. And of course I have some different stuff, and actually how about wielding and maybe a potion of something. Maybe not extreme healing. That would be somewhat a waste, but that... How? Oh, garnet. Nice. And fast healing, of course. Oh, yeah. You're dead. Thanks, Serana. 2 ears. Yes, this time, and no, not taking that. Oh, I think I've heard something. Is there a way here? No. The other part? Yeah, here. A trap. Okay. So, do we have yes, we do. Can already see it. Mm-hmm.
There.
Oh, ball, please.
I knew I'd heard something.
Serana, please, don't freaking trigger... Yeah, that as well. All my sneaky assassin way of killing stuff went into... Yeah, this, by the way, Skyrim collision models. Another annoying thing. Lingering... No, it's way too slow. Like... Come on, guys. You have just 3 strips like this. Was it that hard to model collision model in according to these sticks? Like on square stuff, you don't have to make it particularly precise, but this, they're just a flat piece of wall with my arrows stuck in nothing, and by the way, they're not... I can't pick them up, basically. Or maybe from this side. Please. I think I triggered them at some point, but yeah. I'm not going to waste 10 minutes trying to pick up 2 arrows. That's kinda cheap. I mean, you are Bethesda. You have plenty of money to make one freaking trap. I mean, half of these dungeons, or like all of these dungeons, pretty much using reused components like rocks and even whole pieces of dungeons. Kinda Dragon Age 2 problem, when everything underground look basically the same, because it mostly was the same, built from the same blocks. So yeah, and these guys are doing the same stuff again. Oh, Bethesda. It has its pros, but it has its cons as well. That's a problem. Oh, yeah. I was wondering, will I actually hit him? And I did. Not this time. Yeah? There are at least 2 more.
Palmer are here to stay. They must be who that priest was calling the betrayed.
Yeah. And they're going to pay for everything. And hopefully pay twice. Oh. I don't see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, kinda masqueraded. Now get some of that back. Someone noticed me, but I just want to take a few bottles, resist cold. Well, maybe. I can always throw that away, right? Is that your raised undead who is triggering my... No, that's someone else. But they are losing focus towards us. Nice. Any more? Oh, yeah. At least this.
Where'd you come from?
Nowhere. Then just some dead meat. Well, if you insist, I have to break your dawn with some fire. I mean, that's not particularly strong sword, but that's not terrible. Way too epic for just chorus killing animation, in my opinion, but oh well. That's undead. That's for sure.